Hello everyone, it's the Crypto Cowboy. We are on Sunday here, almost noon at Chicago time, on the 23rd of February. And welcome to another edition of Bitcoin Technical Update on the weekly, as a weekly recurrence here on YouTube. So let's take a look and see where we are here on Bitcoin. So we're watching this green count. We continue to look at this as being a corrective pattern into the price of Bitcoin. So I'm going to start with this. It's not necessarily my preferred count. We wanted to stay with the trend, but I do want to give this the possibility of happening because until we actually take out this B waves highs here at about 10,300, there's still a chance that we could reverse lower and start to make some kind of a corrective pattern down into a second wave. So we're going from the premise that this whole move up here, it's a first wave. We have reached a pretty major low here as a second wave on the bigger time frames at about 10,500. We were watching this developing for 6 months since June or July of last year, and then with the confirmation of breaking the upward channel up here, we're thinking that Bitcoin is about to embark in a much larger bullish advance. So this would be a first wave one up through a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we would come down in an ABC corrective, either something complex or a zigzag or a flat or something of that nature. So our first indication that we could be embarking in a corrective pattern was this drop below 9,700. So if we consider this being an impulsive move in a wave A or a wave 1, then this up here should be the correction, which is wave B, either up here or possibly through some kind of a flat and then come back down. Now the nature of this decline will dictate what this wave C will be. So if this develops in some kind of a 5-way move where you have actually a 1 instead of an A, and you have a 1, 2, then a sharp 3, 4, and 5, that would be the first leg of the correction. We will go up in B in 3 waves and then down in C. If we're coming down in a 3-wave where we go in an A, B, C, so that would be almost like a W, and then you would have an X and a Y, so there's also that possibility as well. So there are several scenarios, but you can see right now that the market is being contained within this channel still, and the drop in this 3 waves up here was kind of contained, and we are starting to show some kind of an advance. So there is a possibility that this whole move up here is the corrective move and we're actually moving up higher, right? But I do want to get a confirmation once we break above here, because then you would have this turn and the probability is increased that we're actually moving up higher. And this brings me to the next count, which is my yellow count, where we're giving this trend still the benefit of the doubt of trying to complete a 5-wave move. We're looking at this as being a wave 1 through a 1, 2, 3 triangle, 4 up in 5 for a 1 in 2, and then you have a third wave advance up, which is kind of smaller than wave 1, and then wave 5 needs to be smaller than 3. So if this ends up being a triangle in an A, B, C, D, and E for a wave 4, or just a simple correction up here to a wave 4, then we should embark in a 5th wave higher. And I think there is a limit how far we can go, and I think that's about 11,975 before this wave 5 becomes longer and we're getting into some kind of an invalidation. But this would be one of the scenarios that could have us go up higher here near term. But there could also be the possibility of this being a 1, 2, 1, 2, although I don't like this wave up here because it's bigger than the second wave. So I don't think that's the right count. All right, so nevertheless, you guys know now that I'm looking for confirmation about this wave B, and then if we correct, then we'll see what's the nature of the decline, and we'll try to follow the market to the downside. But for right now, it's kind of a wait and see, how much power Bitcoin has to move to the top side. I'm looking also at the MA count here. On the moving averages, you can see that we have crossed the 50, have crossed about the 200. So this is a pretty nice bullish indication that we could start ripping up higher. So it's just another thing that we look at here, for as an additional indicator. But let's go and look at the candles as well. On the weekly charts, we've had a couple of 2 small candles as a pause in the uptrend here. You've had quite a few bullish candles on the weekly charts. This kind of pause reaction, correction, and if this next week kind of turns up higher and start turning into more of a bullish candle, then we get even more confirmation that we're about to embark higher. And I was talking in my previous videos about this monthly candle, and the way I wanted to see this close, it's much higher than it is right now. I think this is pretty weak candle still. Now, mind you, there is another week to go here. I think the month of February, it's 29 days this year, and so we have another 6 days to try to close this candle a little bit higher, so we can get a more confirmation that we're actually going to take up this 14,000 highs, 13,800. Okay, so just kind of keep an eye on it. This week kind of closes towards the downside, and it's kind of controlled by the bears, and there is a chance that we might reverse lower into that correction I was talking about. All right, so that's on Bitcoin. Let's quickly take a look also at the Ethereum. I know Ethereum has been doing some nice moves, so let's take a look at it. And again, we go from the premise that longer term we have hit a second wave, and then we are building the case for a move to the upside through some kind of a first wave advance here that it's still in progress. And because I don't have any significant second wave correction to tell me that larger wave is completed, so the way I can look at this is being a wave 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, a pullback into clear ABC correction. Then you have another advance here in a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, and 5 for 3 orange. That completes the count right there. And then we are in the middle of building this fourth wave, which kind of matches with the second. So this could be a triangle where you have an A, B, C, D, one more move down in E, and then we go up higher, or this could be all of it and we're already embarking into a move up higher. So, wave 1 and wave 3 are kind of equal. So wave 5 should not travel that much. It would either be a short wave, fifth, so just quickly above this 280, possibly towards 320 or so. And then if we decide to extend this fifth wave, that can travel much longer. So we'll deal with it when we once it start developing, and we'll look at the nature of the rise and the impulsive moves up here in the corrections to kind of guide us. The market would completely reverse. You will create some kind of a top first, and by some doing some triangles or some alternate moves there. All right, so that's on the Ethereum. So I still think overall this to the top side. We were thinking that this is possible. I think I've had another count where I was thinking that this could be actually a completed wave move already. So let me go to a 6 hour here. By this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for a completed wave 1, and then we're doing some kind of a flat in a wave 2, where you would go in an A, B, C, or an A, some kind of a flat or triangle or something up here for the B wave, and then come down in a second wave. But the market is not responding yet, so I'm starting to lose confidence the more we kind of spend into this sideways triangle patternish. So I'm keeping an eye on it, but unless we start breaking again below this, let's say 256 and again 246, then I'll start looking at this count again and establishing a bearish view until we complete a larger second wave pullback. Either way, I think this pullback will eventually come either from here or possibly from somewhere up higher once we're finishing up the move in Ethereum. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at Litecoin as well, because up into our pro room, into our premium room, we've taken some longs here. I was talking to our members here about this move up here being an ABC or some kind of a three-wave move, and I said let's watch the correction. Let's consider this a correction as long as we are containing this channel and see that we have a three-wave move down here. So we established long positions up here at about 71 or so. Let me just kind of go and look here, but we are still long on it. We haven't been stopped out, and I'll show you kind of the process behind it. So we were looking at possibility of this being a second wave, but we took a chance of considering this a completed correction, and it was warranted a set of longs here because the pattern just looked kind of clear and nice. So let's take a look here at the 45-minute chart. So you guys see we were looking at this being an ABC with the completed 5-wave move down, which was one of our clues, and then we waited for a confirmation here to a wave 1 up. We've had a wave 2, and then once we started doing this, I was kind of excited that we might have already found a low, so we entered here at 69.46. Our stop losses were below the second wave pullback here at 67.45. Then as the market moved up, we raised them. We went to stop at entry, and then we continue to follow the market up through, raising our stops. So you can see the risk reward right now. It's almost 4 to 3.5 to 1. So pretty decent. We're gonna raise. I'm looking now at this 78.21. I want this to hold, but our stops are about here at 76.50. So this would be the bottom of this trend line. We broke through it, which is an indication that we could be embarking higher. Now the risk here is that this could be a completed wave 1 already, and then we will need to pull back in an ABC correction and then embark higher again. So if we get stopped out on this trade, that's fine. We're going to look to reestablish positions that we're doing an ABC. So this is the type of stuff that we do. We've had a trade in the ICX as well, and the Icon. That was pretty profitable. The market pulled us out of it, I think about a day or a day and a half ago, and we're just looking for trades that make sense, that have clear established patterns with clear indications that we have completed patterns, and then we get in them after confirmations, and we try to enjoy the ride. So if you guys want to trade with us, come up into the crypto room that we have on the Telegram. All the links are below this video, and you'll see the free rooms and you'll see the pro rooms. We have a 7-hour advanced course that teaches you exactly how to trade Elliott wave patterns and the waves and the legs of each pattern if you want individually, and how to look at the pullbacks and what the targets are and so on and so forth. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up there. I wanted to see if we can rise in YouTube content, and subscribe to the channel and come visit us in the pro room. I'll see you around. Until next week, have a great trading weekend. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.